Hi everybody, I'm Norwegian teacher Karin, and I wanted to make a video about taxes in Norway because we have a lot of taxes and many other countries doesn't, so I thought it would be nice to hear how the tax system in Norway works, how much we tax, what I think about it, what all the taxes are used for, etc. And this will be a video for people living in Norway and how we in Norway like in what the taxes is. It won't be for foreigners just moving to Norway, because there are a lot of things and laws and such for newly moved people that newly moved to Norway. So this won't be for you. This will be just in general Norway's not very deep in the mush, very basic tax system. First, I will tell you how it works, how much we tax, when, where, blah, blah, blah. Then I will tell you what the taxes are used for, where most money go. And then lastly, I will talk a little bit about what I think about my taxes and how much and stuff. Okay, let's start. We have a system in Norway with our tax card, skattekort. It's electronical. So whenever I start a new job, my employer will just go online, get my tax card, and then know how to tax me. Because we have something called forskuddsskatt, pre-taxes. So we pay taxes every month during the year instead of at the end of the year. So we pay taxes before the year is done. So at the end of the year we get a summary. This is all the pre-tax you have paid. This is how much you should have paid, and then there's a difference, even if you paid too much or too little. And if you paid too much, you get some money back, and if you paid too little, you pay what you lack. I skipped a little bit ahead there, but that's kind of the deal. So I have my tax card, and I got that tax card based on what I paid, what I earned last year. So the tax card is always updated. I will post a picture here. This is a tax card which is like a table. It's not a percentage kind of tax card, it's a table. A lot of people have these in Norway, and this is my tax card. I have to look because it's on my computer. So let's say my pay before taxes was, let's find a number here. Let's say I earned 30,000 Norwegian kroner a month before taxes. Then I just look at that table and I found the 30,000 mark. Next to that it says 7,200 something kroners that I will pay in taxes. That means that on my pay slip thing from my work, they have already taken away that taxes, and I am left with 30,000 minus 7,000, which is 23,000. And that would be my payment that month. And they will do that every month, except for when you get your vacation money, feriepenger. Then you just get your feriepenger and don't do taxes on that. But they do sum it up and take taxes from it, but you don't feel it before the holiday. And the same in December, they give you half tax. Some businesses have started doing it in November. It's because they want us to shop more, use more money in buying presents and Christmas stuff and stuff to boost the economy. And you don't really get half tax. You just feel like you do because you actually get more money from your work that month. But in total, you still have a certain amount of taxes that you have to pay. These tables are not the same for everyone. There are different tables, and how they are chosen for you, I don't know. I just get one of those tables and I just follow it. And I don't do anything, my work does it, so it's easy peasy. Then we have more taxes because we have taxes to this Norway, trygdeavgift, which is for like all the social benefits, which is 8.2% deducted from my salary. And then we have taxes that goes to the county that I live in, and that's Oslo. Then Oslo take their cut, and then we have something called trinnskatt. That's kind of like a ladder type of step taxes. This is new. This is new from this government, okay. I will post a picture here about the trinnskatt. So that says that if you pay if your income is less than 164,000 kroners a year, you don't have an extra step that you have to pay. And the next step up to 230,000 is like less than 1%, and where most people on an average kind of salary would be on the step 2, trinn 2, with 2.4% taxes on top of what you already paid. This is where I'm at. So they will take that out of there and put it in the tax pile. Yeah. People asked on Facebook, when I asked if you have tax questions, people asked if there are different places in Norway that have different tax rates. And there are actually not, but except one exception, and that is Finnmark and Nord-Troms. That is like the top counties in Norway, absolute furthest north, darkest, most coldest places, and that's because they want people to move there. Move on up there and get tax deductions and loan reductions and stuff like that, and double child payment things. Yeah, it's like, come to Finnmark and we will support you financially. That's the only place there is any kind of like tax rate lower things. In general, this latter step kind of thing is that the people that earn more pay more taxes. And that's the deal. If you earn less than a certain amount every year, you don't pay taxes. In 2017, I think it's like 50,000 a year. And that's more for like kids that have an extra job, some students, then you don't pay taxes. Then you have something called a free card, frikort. Yes. And then after you have all your income and all your taxes paid, and they start to like do the math. They, in like skatteetaten, this tax estate thingy, they deduct like, because I have children, and they have like a minimum deduction thing that they take away, a percentage, and they take away if you have like a long commute to work, and then, yeah. There's different kind of deductions, fradrag, which they do the math. And when they give me the skattemelding, which is like my tax message, actually, yeah, that's translated, that I just got mine like the 3rd of April, that's when they were out, the 4th of April. That's when everyone like, hey, go online and check your taxes. And then most people will just see what their income were, what their pre-taxes were, and all the deductions, and then you see at the bottom of the slip, it's like, oh, you have money left, or you have to pay us money. And you have to check this tax return form, skattemelding, for errors, if there's anything missing, anything that should be edited, if they forgot to deduct something. If you have children and they weren't on this piece of paper, you need to put them in there, because it's like 20,000 kroners they just take away because you have a kid. And then there are also like deductions because you have daycare for your children. And yeah. People asked if husbands and wives could do their taxes together. And no, as far as I'm concerned, everyone gets their own. But like me and Robert, we have like, they know that we are married, so they know that our kids' deductions should be put on, like, split between half our taxes. And like our house loan, the mortgage I have on my house loan and all the interest that I pay will also be deducted, and that is also split between me and my husband. And that's things you have to check, that this is correct. And if everything is correct and as they should be on the skattemelding, then you don't have to do anything about it. You don't have to fill it out, you don't have to send it in. You just leave it be, and then you get your money in June or something. Yeah. This doesn't count. This is not how it works for me, because I have like a small business with my YouTube and stuff, and then I'm a business owner, and then I am in the later pile, like in August or something. So I don't know anything about my taxes this year. Yes, and then we have something in Norway called skattelister. That's when everyone's gotten their taxes and everyone gotten their like math done. They release everyone's taxes online. Yes, they do. For everyone to see. And this is part of like an openness that we should see that everyone has the same rules. Everyone pays taxes by the same system, and it's fair, and yeah. It's mostly, well, up until 2013, these lists were just open for anyone. Yeah, I was like, I would check my schoolmates, like, ooh, people that I worked with, and everyone like checking everybody, my husband and fathers and celebrities and everything. And then in 2012 or 2013, they like, no, we don't want to have it like this. Now they have this rule that if you check someone else's taxes, they will be notified. And then it's not that fun anymore, because you don't want to be like a little bit of, like a, no. So I don't feel like people do that anymore, because if somebody checked my taxes, there would be in like their name and stuff in my Skatteetaten login. But those who use it nowadays is more like the media. Like, top 10 tax-paying people in Norway, and top 10 women earning the most, and yeah, celebrity. And like, they check stuff and make lists and statistics, and we read it. And we can see who earned more by celebrities or actors, and yeah, that kind of thing. So in general, our taxes is basically between 24 to 27% of our salary, but it depends on the government that is like who's ruling now. And then you have the trinnskatt on top of that, the step kind of thing. So I guess most people would be taxing like 27%-ish. Yeah. And here is the part where I tell you where all this tax money is going. I will put a picture here with lots of bubbles that shows you where the taxes are most used. So absolutely on top is social protection. This is split between people that are sick or disabled, people that cannot work for different reasons. And then the second bunch of people is the old people that are retired and get pensions. And the third of these is children and family. So that's like maternity leave, barnetrygd, that's like money you get every month just because you have babies, and kontantstøtte, which is like the money you get when you don't have children in daycare. So that's like the top, the very blue piece of thing down here. The next big thing is health. So that's three things. That's hospital services, like every time people have to go to the hospital. And then it's doctor services, every time people go to the doctors. And it's medicine. That's like mostly drugstore medicine. That's the health part. And the third is education. That is mostly for our preschools and children's schools. and then for our youth schools and our high schools, and then the last for universities and colleges. Economical affairs. And I don't know what that means, but it's kind of like transportation, like our roads and our tunnels and building and maintaining the roads. And also under here is like support for jobs that we need to protect, like farmers and fishermen and those kind of works. Also under transportation, I want to mention something called bompenger, because we have roadblocks in Norway, which you have to pay some sort of amount before you can pass through them, or not before. Like if you don't pay, well, it's all automatic now. Before, when I was younger, we had to stop, pay some coins, and then this thing would go up and you could drive through. But now everything is automatic. We have this like little chip thing in our car window called Autopass, and then it just registers with all of the road blockings that we pass, and then we get a bill at the end of the month with that fee. And that fee also goes to like building roads and supporting maintenance and stuff in Norway. We have a lot of them. Going to my mother-in-law, we pass like 7 or 8 of them. Yeah. Also has one surrounding it, so when you pass through Oslo, you have to go through one of them. Many cities are doing that just to get some extra income for transport and roads and stuff. And then, lastly, what I think of these taxes. Well, okay, so mainly I pay about 27% taxes of my salary, and I think it's great. But that's because I'm so used to it. My salary has always been like the amount we call brutto before taxes, netto after taxes. I've always had this netto salary to like relate to. That's been my salary all since I started to work, and it's just been like if I like negotiate a new salary at my work or anything, I would just kind of do the math and see what that would be after taxes. So I kind of relate to my after taxes salary, and then the work is paying the taxes. You see, you can't really relate to that before taxes salary because that's not yours. 1/3 of it is Norway's. And that's okay by me. I understand people living in a country where you have less taxes. If you suddenly should have had 30% taxes and get all these benefits, then that would be hard, because then all your budgets and stuff, it wouldn't add up. But my budget is based on my netto salary, so it works. And I'm so happy about all the benefits that I get, all the bubbles and all the blues, and yeah, and that sheet, that was nice. And also we pay 25% taxes on everything we buy as well. So if I buy a pizza at the grocery store, it's 25% taxes. If I buy a bicycle, it will be 25% taxes. But it's just included in the price in the store, so we don't think about it. Like when I was in the United States once, all the prices were on the boards without taxes. And I would like find my coins for my coffee mocha, and then when I got to the cashier, she was like saying a totally different amount. I'm like, what's happening? And that's because the taxes wasn't on the board. But then you're very aware of the taxes, and you're like, oh, I pay more than it says. But if you just present with a price and you pay that price, it's okay. Service and restaurants and stuff, that's 14% taxes. So when I go to buy a coffee at a cafe, if I sit at the cafe, it costs 25% taxes. If I take it away, it costs 14% taxes. And yeah, so it's a difference between like a service and a product. Yeah. Okay, I know this was a lot. I like my taxes. I'm okay with my taxes. I feel like I get a lot from my taxes. I had 2 years of maternity leave. I have barnetrygd, I have kontantstøtte, I can go to the doctors and the hospital, and I have an education that was free, basically. I will do another video on education system and how that works later. But I just wanted to, I hope that was informative and not the longest rant ever. How are the taxes in your country and are you satisfied? I will see your answers in the comments. Holla!